By the way, you know, it's definitely another hot one out there. Already feeling kind of gross outside.
Yeah, so we've had a pretty hot stretch so far this week, and today is the final day of the heat, and then we bring in some cooler weather.
That could be nice.
It's going to be nice. I just wish it came with sunshine. It comes with showers at the end of the week that we're going to talk about. But the heat advisory is for heat index up to 101 degrees. Today, a lot of you, it's going to feel like the upper 90s because it's hot and because it's humid. Now, temperatures at this moment are in the 60s and 70s. We're already at 77 in Boston, 74 in Worcester, and 66 in Bedford. So we're feeling pretty balmy to get things started today. Today's forecast has us sailing into the lower 90s in the greater Boston area. This is going to come with mostly sunny skies. Probably turns a little bit hazy as we go through the day, but beaches will end up being a couple degrees cooler. We've got a lot of 80s at the coastline versus those 90s inland. Right now, I want to send you over
concerns in other parts.
Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about this earthquake just off the coast of Russia. It was an 8.8, and that's actually the strongest that we've had in over a decade. The last earthquake that was that strong was the big one in Japan back in 2011. So it's been a long time. This is a significant earthquake. We don't oftentimes see earthquakes this strong, and as a result, there was a tsunami that radiated out of that. So we know that there were impacts in Japan and Russia from that. Tsunami advisory continues for parts of Alaska, for the whole west coast of the United States as well, and for even Hawaii too. Something like a tsunami, even though it comes in as a wave from this direction, can actually wrap around the island. So every single coastline in Hawaii is under that tsunami advisory. Here at home, obviously, it's a lot quieter, 74 with sunshine. We've got temperatures in Worcester today headed for the lower 90s, but mid 90s for that heat index. So again, that humidity is going to get you guys. It's going to make it feel hotter. Beaches do run a little cooler. You're going to see some upper 80s for some of the local beaches, 90s inland, but talk about a difference tomorrow. Highs will be in the 70s. So between today and tomorrow, big changes, and it's because a cold front comes through. So cold front could trigger maybe an isolated thunderstorm in southern New England this afternoon. Thinking like after 5 p.m. Most of you are just going to be dry, hazy, hot, and humid today. But this front is going to set up tomorrow, and it's going to move very slowly. In fact, it's what we call a stalled out front. And because of that, we do have showers expected tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night that probably linger into early Friday. I've given us a weather. Yeah, I think it's great that they do that. Absolutely. No, it feels like summer out here because it's hot and it's going to be humid again today. You can see humidity levels highest today, and then they drop as we go through the rest of the week. It's going to get cooler as well with those dropping humidity levels. I'll be back to time out some showers coming up next.
Repeat again.
Yeah, I mean, hot and humid, right? And with that heat and humidity, we do have an air quality alert in effect for southeastern Massachusetts. Heads up, we're not talking the worst air of the season, but anyone with asthma, heart, lung disease, just another good reason to take it easy today. Rain back in the forecast Thursday into Friday, but I did want to show you this. A little wildfire smoke is expected to increase during the afternoon, especially for those of you north of Route 2. So I think you're going to see skies turning a little bit hazier in those areas. You're not going to be able to smell the smoke, but I think it's going to filter some of the sunshine today. Otherwise, nice and bright in Boston. We've got a morning commute that is going to require some sunglasses as temperatures go from the 70s to the 80s by about 8 o'clock this morning for many of you. The heat index really starts to climb as well as the day goes on. Futurecast at least running dry, so if you do have some outdoor plans, if you want to go swimming, perfect. Notice as we get into the late afternoon and evening, there might be like 1 or 2 thunderstorms out there. I mean, we're talking mostly dry weather. I don't think that's something that you need to plan around, but I do think it's something to keep in mind that there is that slight chance late today in 1 or 2 spots. I mean, the big story today, obviously, heat and humidity. If we're talking mid-90s in spots like Natick and Foxborough, Lowell, and Nashua. Coastline, a little cooler. We've got some beach 80s from the North Shore to the South Shore to the Cape and Islands today. Nantucket, probably where you're going to feel the most amount of relief at about 80 degrees. So keep in mind that tomorrow pattern changes because we're on the other side of that front, the cooler side. So tomorrow ends up mostly cloudy, maybe a little spot shower in the morning, but the best chance for some steady rain develops afternoon afternoon and overnight. Some of these showers linger into Friday morning, but we should see some improvements from northwest to southeast as the day goes on. Last to clear out will end up being the Cape.
7 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. Appreciate you being with us this morning. I'm Gene LaVanche.
And I'm Nicole. Gabe, another hot and toasty one out there today.
Yes.
I guess kind of enjoy it because we have some switch-ups later on this week, right?
Yeah, so we're going from like summer's finest, summer's hottest to some cooler temperatures.
I feel like that always happens.
I like the cooler. You can keep the hot.
I like the hot weather.
I'm like ready for a little bit of a cool down. So heat advisories on until 8 p.m. because it's going to feel like it's about 100 degrees this afternoon. That goes for a lot of southern New England. It's just going to be another toasty day. Probably not quite as hot as yesterday, but close. 78 in Boston right now, 69 degrees in Norwood, 73 in Manchester, New Hampshire. So we're already kind of warm out there now, but temperatures are going to head to the lower 90s with a heat index probably in the mid 90s in the greater Boston area, and we'll keep it bright with some hazy sunshine out there. Temperatures at the beaches will tend to be a little bit cooler because of local sea breezes. I'll be back to time out some big time changes to not just the temperatures, but the weather conditions as well. It's hot. I mean, this is a drill. This is what we've had the last couple days. So I feel like we're pros.
That's true.
It's like you put on your deodorant, layer or two of that, the short sleeves, the tank tops, a little extra water today because we do have another heat advisory where it's going to feel like it's about 100 this afternoon between the heat and the humidity. Not quite as brutal as yesterday, but you know, we're in the same league. We're in the same ballpark as yesterday. It's 80 already in Boston, 77 in Beverly and Bedford and in Worcester, 76 in Hyannis. Today's forecast has plenty of sun. It's going to be a little hazy at times, but I've got us rolling into the lower 90s with feels like temperatures about 5 degrees higher than that this afternoon. Cool spots will still be the coastline because we've got some local sea breezes popping up. Inland towns and cities, just plan on 90s. I'll be back with those late week changes. Kelly?